The megalopolis that is Haven City has been on a steady decline, though we have seen select districts begin to flourish as a result of new emerging leadership proficient in the handling of Haven's dwindling resources. The Minister of Resources and Finance becomes a prominent factor in Haven's ecosystem. However, everything comes to a standstill when several large carrier ships descend from the sky, transporting a large colony of diverse strangers, some with similar physiology, yet none of them like what we've seen in the tank before. We know these strangers to be refugees from a desolate neighboring space settlement, Anvil Station. We cut to the mayor of Anvil. He exhales as all ships land safely with zero resistance from any land or air forces. He thought the mistress was exaggerating when she stated that this civilization was in its infant stages despite its obvious advancements. He seals up his spacesuit and exits to introduce himself and the entire colony of the displaced. After a half-hour standoff and getting on the same page, the mayor is carted off at gunpoint by Haven forces to discuss and negotiate over the future of Anvil migrants. For the safety and security of Haven people, the minister has all migrants taken away and forced to reside in Camp Rust, a camp currently harboring Iron Empire refugees. Welcome to the action phase. That was me just setting the stage, putting things in perspective. In this phase, I will announce all 3 story arcs. A story arc is its own series that is isolated from the others, yet unfolding contemporaneously within the same setting. I'm looking for characters who are playing their role and putting on a show by way of their submitted actions. Then I do my thing, and that's forge a story out of complete chaos. What's next is the best part, the easiest part. All you have to do is listen to each story arc to see which plot you want to involve your character in. Once decided, head to our website www.pndrpg.com and take action by telling me why this plot is relevant to your character and what they're going to do about it. Then sit back and wait for the show. If your character's goals lead you to cross paths with a player with conflicting goals, you will be pit against each other. Using percentile dice and my own judgment, advantages will go to the player whose abilities best suit the situation or circumstances. Then I roll the dice. The winning characters who achieve their goals progress further narratively and thus onward through the season, becoming major characters for their story arc. With each episode comes another opportunity to achieve your goals, along with new player characters looking to derail your progress for their own benefit, or perhaps new allies. I'll be directing the action in order to make the best possible cohesive story out of what everybody's doing, meaning that there will always be a spin on your intended actions, considering the inclusion of others' actions along with me trying to form a scene. However, I will always attempt to capture the essence of what you were going for. That said, though I would love to feature all characters' actions in a single episode, that can become impossible, right? Depending on how many people are playing at the time. I'm more inclined to feature characters that I can make an interesting and entertaining story with. And players who are engaged in Discord role-punking are even more likely to get in, as I'm more familiar with their characters. Let's continue to the story arcs. These will be available and viewable on our website as well. Arc 1. Gray Areas. The new Minister of Resources and Finance has become a very powerful figurehead in Haven. This person brought drastic and abrupt change to how the city's dwindling resources are being distributed. The minister is opposed to letting the strangers from beyond seek refuge in the city and is fighting to have them removed as well. The minister's involvement in the city's livelihood and divisive handling of Anvil migrants negatively or positively affects your character, quite significantly at that, and is somehow incredibly relevant to your character too. Arc 2, Electronic Panic. Following the sabotage and hijacking of communications, which led to the sleeper droid infiltration of Haven Gate, the Guard has taken the necessary precautions by erecting EMP towers throughout the city. This is not only a countermeasure against sleeper droids, but also to neutralize sentient androids possessed by hostile abyssal entities that spring up almost daily. As a result of this anarchy android panic, devices that utilize the arcane energies have become quite viable within the climate. The fear of anarchy potentially spying on you has led to runic communications called teleslabs and has become the best means of communication. The freedom from telecommunications has been liberating, but this new uncharted combination of magic and telepathy is but another medium and opportunity for the unexpected. These teleslabs and/or the dependency of is incredibly relevant to your character if you're choosing this arc. Arc 3, The Nebbyhaven Colonies. The mayor's carefully planned approach to getting acquainted with the inhabitants of the tank was not well received by all Anvil migrants before departing. Some felt it was suicide and preferred a more stealthy approach. The night before the Anvil landing, a unit of migrants took the initiative and departed stealthily. They flew their ships into the dense mutated jungle regions of Niboo, finding a home in the abandoned Nebbyhaven colonies, engulfed in overgrowth. At least they could land alive and worry about surviving afterwards. Meanwhile, the Nebbyhaven colony is an incredibly dangerous location to colonize, but it is filled with opportunity and a hotbed for potential. The Nebbyhaven colonies somehow are incredibly relevant to your character if you're choosing this arc. Once you choose and begin to start appearing inside of the story arc, you are locked to that story arc until the end of the season, which is 3 episodes. Please approach this as a show. It's not about winning or losing. There's faces and heels, just like wrestling. This is a place for your character to be a character, so be a character. The action phase is officially open and it's closing Sunday morning, 12 a.m. Eastern Time, July 21st. Good luck.